Well, welcome everyone to day 3 of the Meditation with Missy series. I am so grateful that you were able to join me here, either live or watching us at a later time. I hope that you have found some helpful tools and tips to starting a meditation practice. And in today's class, I will go over again just a little bit more about meditation, simple tips that you can incorporate into starting your own daily meditation practice. Also, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about mindfulness, one of my favorite little practices that I just began a few years ago, and it's really has shifted my life in so many ways. And I call it my gratitude walk. And if you do follow me on Instagram, I definitely share a lot, usually sunsets and things like that at the end of my day, and with the hashtag gratitude grateful. A few years ago, I picked that word. Every year I pick a word at the beginning of the year that's just my word for the year. And I decided a few years ago that gratitude and being grateful was going to be my word. And I decided every day that I would watch a sunset and just think about gratitude and all those amazing things I have in my life, being grateful for them. And then I started to just turn this into a gratitude walk that I really do anytime during the day. So I'm going to share this practice with you as well. It's a little more of a mindfulness practice, and mindfulness is very similar to meditation, and we meditate so that we can become more present in the moment. And mindfulness means being mindful, present 100% fully, and being not judgmental on what is going on at the time. It's a very, very deep practice that I'm always consistently working on both my meditation and my mindfulness practices. So I will begin, and I want to just recap what we've learned here the last 3 days, talking about meditation. And what meditation is it is the gift and the art that you give yourself in taking time throughout our busy days filled with so much stuff, and taking a few moments to just go in silent and go from activity to silent, so that we can just show up and be more present in our everyday lives. And when we practice meditation, we are always going to have thoughts. And what I've shared with you over the last few days is the Soham mantra. And the mantra is really just a sound and a vibration that you repeat as a way to just allowing yourself to keep coming back to the breath and the mantra, because our minds are always wandering. We're always going to have thoughts going on. So when you meditate, I mean, there might be a period of time that you might drift off and you won't even realize it. And then you'll start thinking about things, and then you would come back to the mantra and your breath. The Soham mantra is what I have shared with you over the last few days, and focusing on your breath, your inhale and your exhales. And meditation is just so essential to start to incorporate. Even if you start with just a few moments every day, it will really, really, really shift your well-being. It's a perfect thing to do to reset and to become more grounded, centered, and focused. And I shared so many amazing benefits of a daily meditation practice, everything from reducing stress, because we are allowing our bodies to turn on our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest, the place where we're calm and our blood pressure is low and we are more relaxed and we're more present, as opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, where that is the flight or fight situation that we're usually in all the time because we have so much stuff going on. And I shared that there is a certain amount of stress that we are to experience, and we all are going to have things go on in our lives that are stressful, from, events that go on to our daily responsibilities and things like that. But when you take the time out every day to practice meditation, you are nourishing your mind and your body and connecting them together, and knowing that at any time in the middle of all your stress and chaos, you know that you could come back to your center and be grounded. Even just taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out will bring you to a place of being present, which is a form of meditation and mindfulness. And the reason why we show up every day and consist to practicing meditating is so that we are building that muscle. It's like any other muscle or habit that we begin. You have to start little by little. And at first it feels awkward. And of course, our minds are going to tell us that's enough, move on, we don't need to do this. But once you start to practice a little bit more and gradually increase it every day, you will become just more familiar with it. And your body will actually start to say, I really enjoy this because I'm allowing myself to be calm and centered. And so when you go through your day and whatever arises, you can go back to that state of feeling calm and present. And even though we have all these thoughts all the time in the middle of our meditation, there's always a gap in between our thoughts. I know we start to think one thing, maybe I'm going to go drop this box off at the UPS store, and then your UPS store is next to an Italian restaurant, and then you think of an Italian restaurant and when you're in Italy and when are you going on your next trip, and our mind just keeps taking us on all of these paths of thinking. But what happens when you develop building the muscle of the gap in between your thoughts from your daily meditation practice, you're able to be more present and understand in between those thoughts what's going on. It just really allows you to be more present and engage with others and have more meaningful relationships with someone. If they are talking, you're more present there. They can feel your presence. I know you can feel a difference when someone is being present with you or not. And if they're present with you and you're sharing a conversation or whatever it is, there's an exchange of energy between the both of you. And that is just something that I find it's not always going on. A lot of people are walking around all the time on their phones and their head down. And I definitely fall victim to that as well. But I really, really am trying to be more mindful and sharing these practices with you. And that when you do practice meditation on a daily basis and building up that muscle of being more aware and present in your everyday life and what's going on, it really, really does shift and bring so much more peace and calm and less worry and less stress, less anxiety. You'll definitely even sleep better. You will feel happier and more joyful for no reason. I don't know exactly how to explain that, but I've heard someone say that to me a long time ago, and I didn't really understand it until I started to experience it for myself. And I promise you that if you do commit to developing your own meditation practice, that you will feel these things as well, along with all the amazing other stuff. It also is like helpful to your mental health and losing weight because you become more conscious of what you're doing and what you're doing throughout the day, the foods that you're eating, if you're eating mindfully or mindlessly. So there's so many advantages to this practice that you can literally do anywhere. But yes, it does take a commitment to sit down and to do it. And like I shared over the last few days, is that you really would like to give yourself time to settle into this practice. That even if, you start for a few days, and maybe if you start for a few days and you don't do it for one day, then just go back and start again. There's no one grading you. This is something that is for you to enhance your life and your well-being. And I've definitely experienced all of that as well. For myself, though, now I've been consistently meditating every day for a very long time because it's just a very helpful tool in my wellness kit that I definitely believe in so much. And it's really the foundation for so many extensions in everything I do throughout my everyday life. And the other things that I did share as far as starting a practice is to just start with a few minutes a day. You're welcome to pick up and use the Soham mantra that I shared with you here. You're welcome to just do deep breathing. You can also do body scan breathing, which we did yesterday, a little bit of that, where we just kind of noticed our body and we're breathing in and out throughout our whole body and noticing if there was tension somewhere. Things like that, they are all allowing you to come to the present moment. And that is the one thing about your breath, is that it's just amazing, because once you are aware of your breath that we're doing all the time, all day long, and once you take notice to it and focus on it, it really brings you to the present moment. And I also suggested that you're welcome to check out all those other apps that I shared, the Insight Timer, there's the Chopra app, there's Headspace, there's Calm, and just finding what works for you. And also on YouTube, there's a ton of people on there sharing meditation for free, and there's so much availability to you. And I definitely encourage you to experience all different kinds. I also love David G as well. He is on, I believe, the Insight Timer, but he also has a YouTube channel, and he really does a nice guided meditation on all different types of focuses. So you can also check him out as well. But finding what works for you, and also knowing that what works at the beginning, it may change, you may go back to it. And that's what's so great about it, is that there's just not one particular thing. I mean, I specialize and I love my mantra meditation, and that's what I practice every day, 2 times a day for 20 minutes in the morning and then in the afternoon. But like I was sharing as well, that some days it's just not practical because of things I have going on, but I always commit commit to my little meditation in the morning and the afternoon. I'm on an early flight this week, so I will make sure I get up a few minutes early, and that's one of my morning routines that are not non-negotiable. It's just, even if it's 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. And even when I'm on the plane, I'll just sit and do a meditation. That's what's great, is you could do it anywhere. You just need to close your eyes. And I did share that, sitting just in a comfortable position is really helpful, where your back is upright so you don't fall asleep. And also that you can sit on the floor if you'd like. You could sit in a chair, on your couch. Just make sure that you are comfortable and your feet are flat on the ground. And then also to bring along a blanket so that you're warm, or a candle or photos, something that's going to just bring you to this special place where you know that you're taking a few moments out of your very busy day and all the things that are going on, that you're taking time to reconnect with yourself and to practice this meditation practice, to be more calm and centered and more showing up as you every day, and the better version of yourself for everyone that you have in your life. And it's really giving yourself a gift of nourishment and self-care and self-love. And like any practice or anything that you do, it always starts out not so great. And it's something that just give yourself the grace to go through the period of trying it out. And I encourage you to just give it a try. And I'm here anytime. If I could be of help in any way, you're welcome to email me, message me on Instagram, whatever you'd like, and I can help you out in any way that I can. I share these tools with you. They're just definitely easy ones. And even if you've been meditating for a long time and maybe you are looking to either change it up a bit or to get more consistent with it, I hope that you also found these tools to be helpful. I know me even sharing this information with you, it teaches me a lot too about my own practice and the things that I do on a daily basis. So it's always good to be learning and trying out new things. And then now I will go into talking a little bit about mindfulness before we move on again to a little mini meditation. And mindfulness is really about being fully present, aware of what you are doing and what's going on. But the biggest thing is without judgment, and just being present in what is going on at the moment is mindfulness. And at the beginning of this class, I shared about my gratitude mindfulness walking practice that I have been doing for a long time. And this is also another form of meditation. And it is something that I just wanted to share because I think it's something easy that you can do and just take notice on how you feel. But before I jump into that, I wanted to reshare with you again about that other little simple practice that we shared and we talked about yesterday, the stop. So if you're going through your day and you're all over the place, or maybe something happened and your emotions are rising, or whatever it may be, just always remember to stop and smile. And then take notice, take 3 deep breaths, observe how you're feeling, and then also proceed with love and kindness. And it is just really essential to take notice on how you're feeling and why. And when you just actually stop and you say the word stop and you smile, even when you smile, it changes your physiology just instantly like that. And taking those 3 deep breaths, they bring you to the present moment. And then you can ask yourself, what is it? Observing how you're feeling, maybe why you're feeling what you're feeling, and just knowing that it's just part of these feelings. Everything isn't going to be happy and great all the time. Things are going to rise, but that's the thing, is accepting them, that they are there, letting them rise, and then moving forward with love and kindness. And so now I'm going to go into the gratitude mindful walking practice that I do. And I'll just share with you some quick tips on how to go about doing it. It's really, really easy. So, you could just even for 5 minutes, you could try it out one day for even a minute, or if you're in the middle of a walk, give it a try. So usually what I do is before I take my gratitude walk, and I definitely call it my gratitude walk, it just gives it a name, I will set an intention for my gratitude walk. And it could be whatever, maybe my gratitude walk this morning, it was just, I'm on this gratitude walk and that I would like to be as present as possible through my day when I'm sharing about with you here, everyone here in this course about meditation and mindfulness, to just being as present and communicating clearly. So those were my intentions. I went on my gratitude walk. So before you set out, and if you can either leave your phone at home or put it on airplane mode or just not really take notice to it. Because the thing about mindfully walking is to be 100% present in walking. And if you could do this outside in nature, that is the best place to do it. So even if it's a few minutes that you have, I definitely suggest to give this one a try. And you could even substitute this maybe one day over the weekend as your little meditation practice. So I set my intention and I go for my walk, and I usually leave my phone at home. If I do bring it with me, I make sure that it's off. It makes a big difference when you're 100% present. And before I begin my walk, I definitely just smile and I just take a moment for being grateful for going outside and being outside. I take notice to the sky and the surroundings around me. And then I become very aware of walking. And once I start walking, I will just say again, I'm on my gratitude walk, and I will take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'll just haw it out of my mouth 3 times. This just allows me to like get rid of all of any kind of energy or thoughts of where I was and where I'm going, and just be present. And then really focusing on walking, like the steps that you're taking notice to your surroundings. And then what I like to do is I go through at least 10 things that I'm grateful for. And if you could say them out loud, I mean, nowadays people with earbuds, like even if they're not on, you could talk out loud and no one thinks that you're talking to yourself. So you say it out loud, it makes a big difference. But what I would say is like, I am grateful for my health. And what I do is I always touch my thumb to my fingertip. And I just do that because it's just another way of just being present. So it doesn't really mean anything. It's not some kind of hand mantra or something. It may be, I'm not sure, but this is what I do. So I walk and I'll say, I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for the sunshine today. It could be whatever it is. And usually the first few are very easy, but once you start going, and by the time you get to 10, you are just even maybe thinking of the smallest things that you're grateful for. And they usually turn into like so many different things that you didn't even think about. And by the time you're done with your walk, you're just feeling so much gratitude, and your energy and everything has totally shifted. And you start to realize how much that you do have in your life that you can just even stop for a moment and be grateful for any time of the day. And sometimes when I get to a place of not being mindful throughout the day, I think of my gratitude walk and the things that I was grateful for. And it really is just such a helpful tool. And this is just, it's really great with stress and anxiety and thoughts of the future, worry, and things like that. Because first of all, you're walking, and just the fact of being mindful when you're walking without your phone, not looking at your phone, but being very present as you're taking your steps, and you are practicing gratitude, saying them out loud, touching your fingers, you're really becoming very present. And that is a form of meditation. And then usually at the end, I will be very grateful for the time that I just had for my walk. And sometimes my walk is just not even 5 minutes. Sometimes it's 45 minutes if I have that available to me. But even if you practice this for a short period of time in your walk, it really is such a beautiful thing. And it's a mindfulness practice. And the more that you do these little things throughout the day, they become bigger daily habits that you will start to incorporate into other things that you're doing. So when I take my gratitude walk, I will then in return be a little bit more mindful later in the day, maybe about sitting down and being mindfully eating, or being more present and just someone or something I was grateful for on my gratitude walk. So I encourage you to give that a try. And I hope that you find it to be helpful in some way. And always, as I shared before, reach out to me if you have any questions. But it's just really about being present. So the gratitude mindful walk is really stepping outside, leaving your phone, leaving everything what brought you to your walk there and ahead of you over there, and just being present, stopping, smiling, taking 3 deep breaths in through your nose. And I just haw it out 3 times. And then you start to walk, and you just notice walking and being present, the surroundings. If you're in a place here now, our leaves are starting to change, take notice to nature, feeling the breeze on your skin. And then you could start just saying, I am grateful for, and then you just can touch your fingers to the 10. And then you could just keep walking. You could continue thinking about other things you're grateful for. You can repeat the ones, but it really is just a mindfulness practice that I wanted to share because I think it's a simple one that you could do. And if you do have a family, it's a wonderful thing to do with kids. They'll really just find it to be so fun and they'll really get into it. Or if you're together with your partner, your best friend, or your husband, whatever it is, just maybe you could do it with them and introduce it. It's just a fun thing to do. And it always is nice to share about the things that we are grateful for. So those are the practices that I wanted to share today. I will definitely get more into mindfulness practices in another series. But before we go into our mini meditation, I just want to say I'm so grateful that you decided to join me in this little series and sharing this meditation practice with you. I know that, when the time is right for you, that you will sit down and begin a practice, and it will really just benefit your life in so many ways, along with these mindfulness practices that you can do as well. So let's just do our little mini meditation. And then at the end, I'll answer any questions that everyone has. So let's just get into a very comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. And let's just close our eyes and take a deep breath in and open our mouth and draw it out. Let's do that again. We're going to breathe in for 4. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And one more time, we're going to inhale. Bringing our attention to our breaths as we inhale and exhale. Placing our feet firmly on the ground. Our hands comfortably on our laps. And maybe taking our shoulders and bringing them up to our ears. And just letting them fall back down gently. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your face and your eyes. And let's just take a quick body scan as we inhale from our toes all the way up to our heads. And exhale, just notice and send the breath all the way down from your head to your toes. And let's just repeat that one more time on our own. And now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart center, as we silently ask ourselves the 4 soul questions. And just let anything arise that arises, not forcing anything or looking for outcomes, just silently repeating to ourselves, who am I? Who am I? What do I want? What is my intention? What is my purpose? What is my dharma? What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? And as we release that out into the universe, knowing that everything is working out and sorting out exactly the way it's meant to. And now we're going to move on to our Soham mantra. And as we breathe in through our nose, you're going to silently repeat to yourself, so. And as you exhale through your nose, hum. So. Hum. If your mind drifts off to thoughts about the future, thoughts about things you need to do, sounds in the environment, sensations in your body, just kindly bring yourself back to the mantra as you breathe in through your nose. So, and as you breathe out through your nose, hum. So, hum. So, hum. I'll mind the time, and when you hear my voice and the chime, you can let go of repeating the mantra, sitting comfortably with your eyes closed. So, hum. Keeping your eyes closed, you can slowly release the mantra. Noticing how you're feeling. Thanking ourselves and being grateful for taking these few moments out of our day to go within and to connect more to our true selves. And I'd like for you to silently repeat these intentions for living a happy and healthy mindful life. Joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, reflective, alert mind, lightness of being. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, becoming aware of your surroundings and being grateful for taking the time to show up here for yourself to nourish your mind and your body and your soul. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined me on the Meditation with Missy mini series. I'm really so grateful that you were able to be here with me and that you will incorporate a little of these practices that I shared with you over the last 3 days. And definitely just taking a moment, thanking yourself for showing up and giving it a try or getting back into it, whatever that may mean for you. And I am always here if there's any way that I can help you. I am sending so much love and light, and I will see what questions I need to answer before we end this little series together. Let me see if anyone had any questions. So someone had a question about that. They are trying to do the mantra, but they feel like they can't do it. It's kind of sums it up. But yeah, so really it just takes practice. Your mind is always going to try to talk you out of doing something. It always just wants to go back to what it normally does. So what I just suggest is just keep on doing. If your mind starts to wander away, just come back. So as you breathe in, and hum as you breathe out through your nose. And if it keeps going again, just keep coming back, because that's definitely going to happen. And even to this day, my mind is all over the place and I have a lot going on. It goes, wanders off and come back, wanders off and comes back. So it's just part of the process. And like I suggested earlier, maybe look into other kinds of meditation types that maybe you can try out and they may be more suitable for you. But I just find that the mantra meditation is just something that allows you, it gives you something to do where your eyes are closed and you don't really have other sensations coming in, and you're just thinking about, so as you breathe in through your nose and hum as you breathe out through your nose. So definitely just give it a try and practice. Just give yourself a period of time in doing it. And just always remember, anytime throughout the day when you just take deep breaths, it brings you right to the moment, and it definitely helps you to be more present, less stress and less anxiety and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely a reset and mental wash to your brain and all kinds of stuff. But I am so grateful, and thank you so much again for everyone who's joined in. I will be sharing more of these series